Yeah, tell me fellas, have you seen her? It was about 5 minutes ago when
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I am back with another video. So today we are going to do another military video. So just to get right to the point, today's video is just going to be different tips for my ladies who are going to basic training, whether that's you are just thinking about it or you already got your ship day and you're ready to go. So I'm going to give you guys a quick video here just of 10 tips that I feel like will help you guys while going to basic training. The first tip is just going to be pack light. That's it. Pack light. Bring what you need, which is nothing. They like, what do you mean? What you mean pack light and they gonna say nothing? Y'all, literally, you do not need nothing when you go to basic training. Like, nothing. You're gonna see a million videos. They say the same thing. So obviously what we're saying is true. You do not need nothing. And the reason why I say this is because they're gonna give you everything that you can need to go through basic training. You're not going to need to pack anything extra. Now, if you're a person like me who just don't feel right leaving with nothing in your hands when you go to basic training, bring a small little travel size toothbrush and toothpaste, mouthwash, and that's all you need. Your cell phone charger, your cell phone, that's all you need. And because what's gonna happen is when you get to basic training, what you brought, even the clothes you have on, is gonna get packed up and you're not gonna get it back and you're not gonna see it until basic training is over. So therefore, bring nothing. Literally just bring the stuff that you need to bring to make it for the day or two until you get to basic training. Now, as far as the stuff you'll need while you're actually in basic training, when you go to reception, they'll give you a card. It's called an Eagle card. That card will have $350 on there. Now, that is not free money. I'm gonna say it again. That is not free money, and you can't get that money back, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna come out of your check. They're gonna give you $350 out of your first check to go buy your necessities and things that you may need throughout basic training. Whatever you don't spend of the $350 will be put back into your account on your check. Now, that don't mean go be stingy with your money because you don't want to be spending. Get the stuff that you need. Get the stuff that you need, just don't get all the extra shit. So what's gonna happen, they're gonna take you to the PX with this Eagle card with $350. You're not gonna go to the big PX, you're gonna go to the small PX, and they're gonna have you get bras and underwear. You're gonna have granny panties on. They're gonna make you buy granny panties, they're gonna make you buy bras, then you can buy your toothbrush, you can buy your toothpaste, you can buy your lotions, you can buy the stuff for your hair, things like that. Now, some of the stuff that, even though it's in that small PX, they're not gonna allow you to buy. So like scented stuff, scented lotion and stuff like that, you can't buy. No icy hots, no things like that, they won't allow you to get. You literally will only be allowed to get the basics of the basics. So just get the stuff that you need, some tampons, pads, stuff to take care of your feminine hygiene, soaps, all of that. And then just take what you need. And then the second tip would be to maintain not only your physical appearance, but especially your hair for ladies. Now, especially for my ladies hair of color, or that have textured hair, it sometimes can be hard to maintain your hair. Done my mama nails, I've been popping them off. So it can sometimes be hard to maintain your hair to the standard that the Army requires, but it can be done. Keep in mind that you cannot have two hairstyles in one. By that I mean, some ladies like to, especially with natural hair, may like to braid their hair down back front or down the back to the back and then have the rest like poof. You can't have that. Now, you can have braids, you can have weave. They don't say you can't bring those things or wear those things to basic training, but would I advise it? Not really, because you're gonna be out in the mud in the field, you're gonna be dirty, so your hair is gonna get dirty. You're not really gonna have time to maintain your weave like you usually would if you were in the civilian world. So I wouldn't advise it. If you can wear your natural hair, that would be best. And if you could put your hair in some type of protective style, that's good as well. It's always gonna be somebody who knows how to braid in the way. So I would take that to your advantage and get your hair braided. There's nobody there you need to be looking cute for, so why not? Y'all, like when I first went to basic, I had cut all my hair off, so I maybe had like an inch of hair, and at some point it started to grow, and I didn't have nothing to do to it. Like that gel that they give us wasn't good for my hair. Like a lot of the products that we were allowed to use for our hair wasn't necessarily for my hair type, and I have like 4C 4A-ish hair, so it wasn't going too well. So I had somebody braid my shit back. You don't want to be looking like a fucking bag nasty when you out in this uniform. They already gonna talk about you. Don't give them something else to talk about, period. So if you have any questions about your hair, AR 670-1 is going to be your best friend when it comes to hair regulations in the Army. Look at that, follow that, live by that. And so tip number 3 is going to be, do not be that girl. Now when I say that girl, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't be that girl that's just too good to participate in the activities, too good to work out, too good to do this, too bougie to do that. Don't do that. Just do what you gotta do and what you came here to do, because everything that you do in basic training is a team effort. And I'm gonna say that again, it's a team effort. So it can't be that one person, because that one person is gonna make everybody stick out like a sore thumb. And so you're gonna realize like you don't want to be that person, because that person is the person that gets cussed out. Like, because don't nobody want to be getting in trouble because somebody was being lazy or somebody didn't want to do what they were supposed to do. Don't be that girl. We already come into the Army as ladies, as females, with a high standard that we have to work up to, because majority of the time it be these men that feel like they should be doing everything that we are here to try to do. So you always want to work extra harder to prove yourself, to prove that this is not just a man's job. So you don't want to give that extra reasoning of why it should be. Tip number 4 is maintain your hygiene. Please maintain your hygiene. Y'all, I have never in my life knew that girls were as nasty as they were until I stayed with them in basic training. Like, it was bitches that didn't shower. Like, and I'm like, how do y'all go through a whole day of all these extraneous exercising and don't shower? How can y'all even sleep at night like that? Like, you don't smell yourself? So don't be that girl. Do not be that girl that just feel like, oh, we did so much today, I just can't shower. Because baby, you can always shower. You're gonna get personal time at the end of the night, and before you write that letter, get in the shower, period. It's no excuses, and I'm not gonna give y'all no excuses to why y'all can't shower, because y'all can. Take care of your hygiene. Don't nobody want to smell that, and you gonna have somebody tell you about yourself if you acting like that. So don't be that one to act like that. Just get in the shower, take care of your hygiene, and call it a day. It's that simple, mama. So number 5 is going to be, just refrain from relationships. When I say refrain from your relationships, I'm talking about, you're gonna see people try to be booed up in basic training, booed up in AIT. You might have heard little stories. Baby, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And the reason I'm saying don't do it is because half the time that shit's not even real. Honestly, it's like you guys are gonna be booed up and feel like y'all like each other because y'all going through the same situation. Y'all both fucked up. Y'all both feel like, okay, we in this fucked up situation, we must really fuck with each other. And that's not what it is, honestly. Because to be real, a lot of people in basic training, you really don't know who they are outside of basic training. You see what you see while y'all there, but you don't know the actual civilian side of them. So you may think that this connection is there, and it's probably not. Not saying that you actually can't build an actual relationship in basic training, because you can, but I wouldn't even worry about it. That's not what you're there for. You're not on no damn dating show. You there to become a future soldier and finish your future soldier training. So just stick to that. My step number 6 is going to be, leave your feelings at the door. Matter of fact, leave them at the front door when you leave your house before you go and ship off to reception. Leave them at the door, because they're not needed. And the reason I say that is because you're there to do a job. You're there to finish your training to become a future soldier, not to have no attitude, not to be just doing too much. Leave your feelings at the door. Nobody is doing this because they just don't like you. Nobody is doing this because they just want to be mean to you. It's all a purpose. It's a method behind the madness. Trust me. So I would just come to do what you came to do, and don't get in your feelings about it. If somebody's yelling at you, a drill sergeant's yelling at you to go do something, just do it. Honestly, just do it, because you're gonna have more trouble trying to get out of doing it versus just doing it. So just suck it the fuck up and do it. Honestly, that's the best way I can say it. It's just embrace the suck and do it. My tip number 7 is important. I feel like it is what got myself and many others through basic training, and that is, remember the reason why you are there. Whether you're doing it for yourself because you want to have a better future, you're doing it for your family, you're doing it for your children, whatever the reason is, remember the reason why you are there. Like, keep that grounded into your mind, because that is what is going to help you get through those hard times. So those times when you feel sad, or you're missing your family, or you're missing your significant other, or your kids, or your dog, or your cat, or your fish, or whoever, do is remember why you are there, why you signed that contract to join the United States Army and go through basic training for at least 10 weeks to further your career in the Army. Because I feel like it was a lot of times, especially in that first couple weeks, where girls was just breaking down left and right. Like, I'm ready to go home. I can't do this no more. Like, I miss my kids. I miss my family. And they were just wanting to quit. Like, and it's like, I understand, especially now that I have my own kids. I understand what it's like to be away from my babies. I don't even like to be away from my babies for a fucking day. So I can just imagine, like, the whole basic training experience. But just remember the purpose of why you are there. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end, it'll feel way much better. At the end, it'll feel so much better to know that you accomplished this for those people, or that individual, or whoever, for yourself, and didn't give up, versus, oh, you gave up just because you started to miss somebody, or just because it got hard. Because in the long run, you're probably going to look back and you're going to be like, damn, I wish I would have just stuck it out and finished it, and, you know what I'm saying, made it to the end. Because if I would have just waited a little longer, just carried on another day, I know I could have made it. You don't want to have that mindset at the end of this whole experience. So just remember why you are there and stick to that. Like, make that your reasoning behind every activity, every mile run, every fucking push up. Make that your thought frame, because that is what's going to keep you motivated to keep going. That brings me to my next tip. There is no such thing as refusing to train. And that is the most stupidest thing that you can ever say, that that's what you're going to do if you choose to be that person, or when you see that person. That is the most stupidest thing you could ever do. And the reason why is because once you sign that contract, it's not just, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done. No, it doesn't work like that, baby. Once you sign that contract and you're there, you're gonna have to go through hell and high waters to get out of that contract. So those folks that be like, oh, I don't want to train no more, I'm done, I'm not doing this, that's fine. And that's what they're gonna say, okay, that's fine. But what they fail to realize is that they're gonna still have to go on everything that you guys go on as a company. So whether that's going to the range, whether that's going to the FTX, anything, they're going to have to go to every single event with you guys as if they were training. They just will go and do nothing once they get there. And so it's pointless to me, because if you have to go anyways, why don't you just go and do what you have to do? Because what's going to happen is those people will end up watching your company graduate from basic training, sometimes even AIT, sometimes even going to their first duty station, and they'll still be somewhere back at fucking basic training, waiting to get out, because the people who out process them will take their time, and they'll tell you they'll take their time to get you out processed. That you wanted to waste everybody's time and go to basic training and then try to quit, they're gonna give you something to wait about. So just avoid all that and just do what you have to do. Like, it is all a game. You'll hear people say that, like, the army is just a game. Like, it's just a game. You have to get through one obstacle to get to your end goal, to get to the final part. So as long as you can get that done, you're fine. Don't take it personal. Don't do any of that. Everybody's just playing the game, from the drill sergeants to the fucking teachers, the AIT, to the fucking civilians wanting to become a soldier. It's just all a mind game, and that's just your end goal, is to just get through all of those obstacles to become a soldier and get to your first duty station. Because you're gonna go through all this stuff, and then if you have a fucking desk job, or you're a cook, you may not even have to deal with half the bullshit that you're gonna train for immediately. Now, sometimes you may have to, but you know what I'm saying, it's not on a consistent basis. So just go do what you have to do. Point number 8, guys, try to save your money. When it comes to the end of basic training, you're gonna have all these opportunities to like buy different stuff and souvenirs and things like that. By all means, if you don't have nothing to fucking save for, go ahead and do it. But it is tempting to spend money on all of those souvenirs and things like that, but to me, honestly, it's not worth it. It's like graduating high school and you have all the senior gear, the senior shirt, the senior coffee mug, the senior pencil, the senior sunglasses, and then a week later that's gone. Honestly, I would say grab you a souvenir or two and leave it at that. Don't go spend $500 on a picture frame, because I promise you they're gonna try to sell you one. My next and my last tip is going to be, try to get in shape before you go. Even if you don't get fully in shape, at least try to introduce exercising into your lifestyle. Now, the reason that I say this, and the reason why it is important to do this, is because once you get to basic training and you start that extraneous exercising, your body is not going to be used to it. Especially if you go from not working out at all to trying to jump into this fully loaded workout. And that is how a lot of people end up ending up with these profiles. Now, of course, if it happens, it happens. That doesn't make you like no less or weak or anything like that. But just to prevent that, that's something I would recommend. So for instance, I wasn't in the best shape when I went to basic training, but I wasn't in the worst shape. I went to the gym maybe like 2-3 times a week, and I did like a little running, a little walking, a little weight machines, little sit-ups, things like that. So I did like just basic exercises to keep my body active. So of course, when I got to basic training, it still was a shock to my body of exercising, but it wasn't terrible because I was still familiar with it. So I would definitely make sure. So guys, that is all that I have for you today. I hope you did enjoy my video. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything that I may not have mentioned in this video, feel free to drop it below, and I'll definitely make sure I answer it in my next video. Also, stay tuned, because I am going to be posting a AIT video, my experience at AIT, and what you can expect from AIT. So if you are interested, just look forward to that video as well. And if you haven't checked out my other videos, be sure to do that.